Let me give you some instructions on how to file Form 8829, how to report expenses for business use of your home. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another edition of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. How are you today? I hope you are doing fantastic. I'm doing marvelous, if you were to ask me. And if you are doing as great as I am, go grab a cup of coffee or tea or vodka and let's roll. In today's conversation, I want to talk to you about IRS Form 8829 line by line instructions. How do you report expenses for business use of your home? If you have recently become self-employed, chances are you are pretty nervous about handling tax season as a single person business, right? Fortunately, while self-employment makes taxes a little trickier, it can also offer a few perks, like the chance to deduct everyday business expenses from your taxable income. That's pretty cool. One business expense you may be forgetting that could make a big difference on your taxes is the cost of working from home. So let's talk about Form 8829. This form is also called the expense for business use of your home. This is the IRS official form you use to calculate and deduct your home office expenses. So 1099 contractors and other self-employed individuals process the IRS for home office form along with their annual tax return, unless you are using the Simplified Method. I'll talk about that later on. And qualified expenses are reported on Schedule C of Form 1040. And the tax forms can seem a little intimidating, but we'll talk you through the 8829 and show you how to handle it like a pro. So I want to show you right now on the screen. You can see the Form 8829 along with the permanent IRS link, the link on the IRS page where you get it from. All right. Now remember though, and this is a big disclaimer from us here. This video, like all of our other tax related videos, is not intended to replace the counsel of a CPA, an EA, or a tax lawyer. So if you find that you have more questions that are answered in today's show, please, you want to read the instructions on the IRS website, or even better, hire a professional accounting service. Okay? So the Form 8829 instructions. The thing here is that while having a home office does allow you to deduct certain expenses from the income that is subject to tax, you unfortunately cannot expense the full cost of your mortgage or utility bills. No, you can't do that. And the IRS has very specific rules regarding which expenses are deductible and which are not. Okay. Now, here are a couple of rules regarding what you are allowed to deduct. So your home office must be your primary, I insist here, primary place of business. In other words, you cannot work occasionally from home and claim it as a home office. No, nada. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, the space in your home where you work has to exist exclusively. Another keyword. First keyword was primary. Now we have exclusively. So it has to exist exclusively for your business and nothing else. So if your home office is also used as a guest bedroom or say for kids to do homework, you may not qualify for this write-off. However, the space does not have to be closed off. In other words, you can have a desk in your kitchen and that will qualify. What deductions are allowable? This is the $1 million question. Very important. A lot of millions of taxpayers in the United States wants to hear this, wants to have an answer, a clear answer to this question. Home office expenses that you deduct using Form 8829 must be directly related to running your business. Again, I want to go back to those two keywords I mentioned early. Make sure that they relate to the primary purpose of your business, and those expenses are exclusive to your business. So typically allowed deductions include rent, deductible mortgage interest. So you have the allocation, right? The allocation that is you have to prorate the amount. You have utilities, homeowners or renters insurance, home depreciation, home maintenance, and there are other miscellaneous expenses such as office supplies, anything that is primary and exclusive to your business will qualify. But don't get too excited just yet. When it comes to, let's say, when it comes to your mortgage, or when it comes to the homeowner's insurance or the renter's insurance, you can only deduct the portion or percentage of those costs that are actually related to your home office. For example, if your office is, say, 10% of your home's total square footage, then you can only deduct 10% of each of those costs. Be very careful on this, folks. Very, very careful, because intentionally misleading the IRS on the extent of your home office is a fantastic way to get flagged for an audit. And nobody wants that, right? So one thing I want you to remember here is that all expenses must be primary and exclusive to the business. And then you have to be very, very accurate on the prorata, on the proration, on the the ratio you use when it comes to allocating expenses to your business if you work from home. So the percentage must be. I'm not saying you have to do you have to be very close. If it's 10%, and if you say 10% and the IRS finds out it's 11%, it's okay. But if it's 20% and the IRS finds out that it's actually 25% or 30%, then you're not okay. So just make your best guess. All right. I was talking to you earlier about the simplified method, because there is a simplified method and there is a complicated method. All right. And if everything I've been telling you so far seems too complicated, there is one way around the Form 8829. So instead of calculating what percentage of your hidden bill you use for work, you can elect to take what the IRS calls the simplified deduction. So the standard deduction amount is $5 per square foot with a maximum of 300 square feet. So you can't have a home office that is more sizable, that is larger than 300 square feet. You cannot. I think the IRS just believes that at that point, you just need to convert the home office into a regular office. So if you take the simplified method and you agree to take the standard deduction of $5 per square foot, make sure that you understand that this method does not require you to fill out an 8829 form. So this form, the explanations I'm giving here are for those who really want to fill out the form and claim because they believe that they are going to get a larger deduction or get a larger refund if they fill out the form. So if you choose that simplified method, all you have to do is just put on line 30 of your Schedule C. You need to indicate the total square footage of your home and the square footage used for business. And you can still claim allowable home-related deductions like mortgage interest and real estate taxes on Schedule A. However, you cannot deduct for home depreciation. And the thing you have to also remember here is that if you don't have an exorbitant list of home expenses, the simplified deduction may actually save you more money. It's kind of similar to when it comes to deducting transportation, right? You can either just take the standard mileage rate of 57.5 cents per mile versus trying to actually calculate everything that goes on with your car, the maintenance, the repair, the depreciation. So this is analogous to that. The thing you have to understand is that the standard deduction amount of $5 per square foot may change year to year. So the IRS does allow you to choose either the simplified method or the regular 8829 method for a single tax year. So you can change that. I'll be right back right after this. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back, folks, to another session of the Awesome Sweetie Kiwi Show. I want to walk you through the 8829 form. So here we have part one. First of all, as you can see on the screen, we're showing you on the screen right now. You can see the form. This is the form is titled Expenses for Business Use of Your Home, and you have to put your name, the name of the proprietors, and you have to put your social security number. And in part one, this is a portion of your home used for business. And line one asks you need to enter the square footage of your home office that you use exclusively for business purposes. And as I said earlier, this cannot be somewhere like your dining room that serves multiple purposes. Line 2, then you want to enter your home's total square footage and use the same unit of measurement that you used on line 1. Line 3, you want to divide line 1 by line 2. You want to multiply by 100 to find the percentage of your home that you consider to be your home office. And you need to enter this percentage on line 3. Line 4, so if your home is a daycare center, you want to enter the number of hours during the tax year that you provide a daycare. And you can find this number by multiplying the number of hours each day that you provide a child care, and then multiplying that by the number of days you are open for business that year. And if your home business is not a daycare, just skip that line. Line 5, skip this line as it should already be completed, right? This is normally Line 6, you want to divide line 4 by line 5. So if you run a daycare center, if not, just skip it. Line 7, so if your home business is a daycare, you want to multiply line 6 by line 3 and enter this number here. And if you don't run a daycare, enter the value of line 3 here. It's very important to understand that every number that you put here, you have to have the documentation for it. You need to have the records, the accounting records, the tax records to back it up in case you are audited. Now let's go to part 2. Part 2 here, this is where you figure your allowable deduction. And line 8, generally you will enter the value of line 29 from your Schedule C here. However, if you had any capital gains or losses from your home office, you'll have to take those into account here. If you work from home as well as at another location, such as a co-working space, you should enter the percentage of line 7 from your Schedule C that represents the percentage of your income that you earn at home. And if you need help with this, the IRS on their website has specific instructions for this section. So column A here on basically we have column A for line A. So you have direct expenses. So this column is for expenses that you incurred specifically because of your home office. For example, a new office chair that is solely for your home office would be considered a direct expense. Column B, you have indirect expenses, and this column is for expenses that you incurred which benefited both your personal and professional use of your home. Indirect expenses will be things like your water bill, including both your personal and professional use. Don't try to figure out a percentage here. Just enter the entire amount of your indirect expenses. In this case, your entire water bill. Line 9, if you're filling out Form 4684 to claim losses from a casualty event, you want to fill out this line using the IRS instructions. If not, just skip it. Line 10, enter the interest paid on your mortgage. Now remember that your mortgage is considered an indirect expense unless you have a separate structure on your home property that you use to run your business. And note that you can also claim mortgage interest on your Schedule A. Line 11, enter any real estate tax you paid during the tax year, right? Another indirect expense. Line 12, you have you find the totals in the A columns for line 9, 10, and 11, and you want to enter them on line 12A. Line 13, you want to multiply line 12B by line 7. Line 14, you want to add line 12A and line 13. Line 15, this is self-explanatory. You want to subtract the value of line 14 from line 8. If you get a 0 or a negative number, just enter 0. Line 16, if your deductible mortgage interest is limited on your Schedule A, you want to enter the excess here. Line 17, enter the excess real estate taxes you paid. Line 18, enter the amount you paid in homeowner's insurance this year. Line 19, if you rent your home, enter the total rent you paid this year. And line 20, enter the amount you spent on home repairs and maintenance this year. So depending on the type of work you had to do, the amount can fall either or both of the columns. Line 21 here, you want to enter the amount you spend on utilities. Line 22, you want to fill in any other home business expenses that you didn't enter elsewhere, right? For example, this might include the cost of a city-required home business license. Line 23, you want to add the 8 columns for line 16 through 22. Line 24, you want to multiply 23p by line 7. Here you have it, right? And we're still showing this to you on the screen. Line 25, you want to enter the carryover of prior year operating expenses. On 26, you want to add line 23A, line 24, and line 25. Very important. Line 27, you want to enter either the value of line 15 or 26, and whichever is a smaller number. On line 28, subtract line 27 from line 15. And line 29 is actually for casualty losses, so you want to enter the excess casualty losses. And for this, you want to, the IRS has a guide for this, and you want to multiply line 9 by the business percentage of your casualty losses. And line 30, this is where you enter the depreciation of your home from lines 42 below. Right? I'll show you line 42 very soon. And line 31, you want to enter the carryover of prior year excess casualty losses and depreciation. Line 32, you want to add lines 29 through 31. Line 33, you want to basically enter line 28 or 32, whichever is smaller. And on line 34, you want to add lines 14, 27, and 33. Okay. And the thing here is that for line 35, you need to find the amount of casualty losses from lines 14 and 33, if any. And the thing is, you can also use this number on form 4684, which you can read about on the IRS website. Okay. Line 36, you want to subtract line 35 from line 34, and you'll also use this number on your Schedule C, line 30. And we actually covered the Schedule C on another show. You want to double check that show. And I'm showing you right now on the screen form 4684. This is where you basically include all your casualties and thefts. And the form is pretty self-explanatory. We also have here the permalink of that form on the IRS websites. And this is a very important form, especially if you have to report casualties and thefts. Part 3. Let's talk about part 3. So you have a depreciation of your home. So line 7, you want to enter either the cost of your home or its fair market value when you began doing business at home, whichever is less. And line 38, you want to fill in the cost of your property or the fair market value of your property on the date you began doing business at home, whichever number is less. In line 39, you want to basically subtract line 38 from line 37. This is the basis of building. Line 38 was the value of land included on line 37. So line 38 was just more the value. Okay. Now line 40 is the business basis of the building. So here you have to multiply lines 39 and 7. Line 41, depreciation percentage. So line 41. Here, the thing here is that line 40 will change depending on the date you began doing business at home. Line 41 rather. Okay, so this will actually change depending on the day you started doing business from home. And line 42, depreciation allowable. So if you, let's say, if you haven't made any addition or improvement to your home since you began working from home, you want to multiply the percentage on line 40 by line 39. If you made additions or improvements, you want to actually go to the IRS website to find more information about the monetary value of those additions. Part 4, let's talk about part 4 now. Part 4 is carryover of unallowed expenses to 2021. It could be 2022, 2023, depends on the tax year. So line 43, you're almost done, folks. So next, you want to subtract line 27 from line 26. So this is operating expenses. If the result is negative, you want to enter 0 here. Line 44, finally, you just need to subtract line 33 from line 32. If the result is negative, you want to enter 0 there. And line 44 is the excess casualty losses and depreciation. All right, folks, this is the end of today's conversation. I was just talking to you about IRS Form 8829. I was giving you line-by-line instructions on how to report expenses for business use of home. And I spoke to you what I defined Form 8829. Form 8829 instructions, what deductions are allowable, and the simplified method in filling out the 8829 form. The first portion is portion of your home used for business. Second part is a figure your allowable deduction. The part 3 is depreciation of your home, and part 4 carryover of unallowed expenses to 221 or 222 to the next year. Let's just say it this way. Okay. Thank you so much for your attention. I really appreciate it. I will see you next time. But until then, remember, stay marvelous.